WrestleMania's not that far away. What's Sportskeeda gonna do? That's up, everybody. I'm jacked up on caffeine. It is a Monday. We are not that far away from WrestleMania. Yes, in Philadelphia. If you are with us live or on demand, go ahead and hit the like button. Spread the wrestling love. Get on screen. Your wrestling opinion matters, and you do it. We ring, we ramble, we do all that. It's every Monday here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, on demand whenever you get it. Even if you're not watching it on Monday, it don't really matter, but we appreciate it. We're growing this thing. We're getting it going here. A lot of exclusives just dropping for Sportskeeda over the weekend as well, Nick. I just spoke to Sami Zayn from WWE. That is over on the WrestleBinge channel. Go check that out. Big conversation with him. We have a lot to get into, and I want your opinions on screen. How you feeling about CM Punk tonight in Chicago, his hometown, a hotbed for wrestling? I'm going to be there. He's going to be doing a whole lot. He's going to have a microphone. He's teasing making out with someone on camera. What do you think of this?
I'm excited. I'm excited to have, see CM Punk back talking on the microphone and in his hometown. So it should be great. You're going to be there.
Yeah. And I like that. This is the selfish part of me as someone from Chicago. I like that even the most casual fan knows that they're in Chicago, that something's going to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in New York, they're going to be in Brooklyn next week, right? Mm-hmm. You know The Rock's going to be there, right? So you know they're going to do something to really drive the needle on the major angles. But the issue with WrestleMania the past couple of years, the biggest show of the year, is they kind of tend to do that big, like the final scene, the final big promo about 2 weeks out. They did this with Kevin Owens. He came out at right before the Dallas WrestleMania. He came out in Chicago to Stone Cold's music, a massive reaction. And it was just him. And you knew within about 5 seconds, but it was like, it worked, Hell yeah. What's up, subscribers? Go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, as always, turn those notifications on. I love hearing this. So we want to know what you think CM Punk's going to do. What do you think his role is going to be? Josh Craig with a great point here. Hey guys, I think it's either special referee for Drew versus Seth. Of course, Drew McIntyre, who has not a chip on his shoulder, a massive chunk. He's doing some of the best social media stuff for WWE right now, leading up to WrestleMania. Going off on Seth, making fun of CM Punk, keeping CM Punk certainly in the conversation, even though CM Punk's been injured now for months. So what is CM Punk going to do at WrestleMania if he can't have a match? He says he would be the special guest referee for Drew versus Seth, somehow involved in that match, maybe commentary, and or gets involved with Night 2's main event. Interesting. He's working out. CM Punk's working out. He's putting a lot of stuff on social media. He proclaimed this will be the greatest comeback of all time. He is a guy that did not go back to WWE. I can tell you from talking to people, he did not go back to WWE with the intention of dogging it. This is not a guy who's good. He wants now. I don't think he's going to work a regular schedule at his mid-40s and the injuries he suffered and this injury he suffered now. Right. He wants to have big matches, but you get the impression the guy keeps going to NXT. He was at NXT last week. He wants to have a role in the business beyond being an in-ring performer, and he wants to end his career on his own terms without any negativity. I could see him doing the special guest referee thing and doing it right. And doing something that helps the angle go. And how can I give back to the angle and use my star power to do that?
Yeah, I would like to see that. I think it would be really cool. I also agree with, the commentary. He's great on the mic, so that would be a way to involve him in WrestleMania. But I think the best way would be the special guest referee, because I don't see him wrestling in a match quite yet. But you never know. But the special guest referee and maybe, screwing somebody over.
One good arm. You only got one good arm. You know what I mean?
That's all you need.
I wouldn't rush it though.
No,
I wouldn't risk it, and you have Drew McIntyre saying this guy's made of glass. He's had so many injuries. Drew McIntyre's been really going off on Punk recently. Did you see the video where he's working out in his gym and he puts on Cry Me a River, which is a line that Jungle Jack Perry said on camera that led to the fight that they had at the AEW All In. Then he leaves AEW. Drew McIntyre is doing some things that are like really like, oh boy, he's really, I'm loving it. He's being more worky shooty than in terms of being effective than anybody. That's a very good line. You can either be, you're too insidery, like that doesn't mean anything. Whereas somebody could look that up and be like, Cry Me a River. They look up the song, boom, boom, boom. Like a couple Googles and you're right there. I do think what do you think they do with him on Raw? I mean, this could age like this could age like cheese in the sun here if we don't talk about it right. But whatever. I'm looking forward to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I think are going to get into it on the microphone tonight.
Yeah, I think he definitely comes out, talks some crap, definitely to Drew because Drew's been coming at him hard. I see something happening between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk after WrestleMania for sure.
And he's still got bad blood with Seth Rollins. That was a match we were supposed to have a few months ago.
Exactly. So, I mean,
there's so many. It's nearing convoluted, though, isn't it? Like everybody has a story to finish, and everybody has some involvement in it. Here we go. Love this. Angie Schindel saying that CM Punk was at Mindys Bakery today. Do you know the reference to Mindys Bakery, Nick?
Let him know. Let him know, Kevin.
So Mindys is the bakery that makes these incredible muffins, and he's a big fan of it. CM Punk's a big fan of it. In AEW, when he had that big blow up after he got injured, and he had the press conference where it was super controversial, where he went off on all the executives in the company, and he shot on them right next to after winning a title, and he had a torn tricep, and he just went off like everybody in the company. And Nick Hausman, a good friend of mine at House of Wrestling, he was there and described it as like an insane situation. Mindys Bakery was the muffin he was eating. So he's doing all this and eating a muffin, and he shouts out a muffin company. And I've heard a lot of people saying, he's like, no, Drew was there today. Oh, Drew was at the Mindys Bakery.
Oh,
he's going muffin for muffin.
Let's go. I love it.
There's going to be a pipe bomb dropped in a bakery, dude. That's what's going on. What's going on, dude? I love this stuff. Dude. He went out of his way. It's worth noting, Rosemont, Illinois is where the Chicago WWE shows are happening. Allstate Arena. It's about an hour outside of Chicago in terms of a drive, like with the traffic and everything. There's no way Drew McIntyre with Mindys is in the city. There's no way Drew McIntyre did not like go out of his way to just shoot up a social media promo. So he is dedicated to the details. Thank you for that, Angie. I appreciate it.
That is awesome.
I think everyone's correcting me on that. I didn't see that clip yet.
I didn't either.
Very busy. I'm working on an 18-page long Paul Heyman voiceover because Paul Heyman's going to the Hall of Fame. And we were saying, what should CM Punk do at WrestleMania? We have somebody saying that he should induct Paul Heyman in the Hall of Fame. He's a Paul Heyman guy. The speaking role doesn't have to get physical.
That makes
Hall of Fame still a really, really big deal. That'll go down on the Friday before WrestleMania, right after SmackDown in the same arena, the Wells Fargo. I got to get tickets for that and see if I'm going to that.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think that would be a big thing here.
That'd be good. I would like that.
Yeah. So, there's a ceiling on what he can do. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of what you have him do that's effective as a player, because he hasn't been on TV since he had an injury,
Right.
But Drew's been keeping his name out there. You wouldn't know it. Like if you're just hopping back in, you would think, oh, he just hasn't been on TV in a few weeks. No, we haven't seen him since what, January? Maybe.
It's been a while. A while.
So a lot going on though with WWE. They're certainly stirring the pot. This is WrestleMania season. This is high season. And somebody who's stirring the pot is one of the biggest players in this year's WrestleMania, who some people say should be the biggest player, but he isn't. He's near the top. And he is the main target. He is the undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. I've not seen the entire interview, but I've seen clips of it. You have to see a big chunk of this. He was on Pat McAfee.
Yes.
And Pat, when he gets a wrestler on the show, they really go off and really stir the pot, don't they? And Roman certainly did this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he took some shots at John Cena. He did call him. He said things that he's done is GOAT worthy. But, he feels what he's done as the champion is a little bit better. And I think, fans are getting crazy about it. But he's got to stir the pot. He's on the Pat McAfee show. He's still keeping it kayfabe. Maybe this is a little insight to the future of what might happen at WrestleMania. Maybe he's calling, John Cena out a little bit here. And maybe John Cena comes and makes an appearance to help Cody Rhodes. I don't know. We'll see.
So this is what he said. I don't take anything away from anybody. What John has done as far as generations come, that is GOAT level stuff. But for me, it's always been about quality, not quantity. Oh, so you're just saying he wasn't He did a lot of good things. He didn't do great things.
Right.
John has a lot of title reigns, but he doesn't have a title reign that can compare to what I've done in the last 4 years. This quality that I've put on display, it speaks for itself. The business backs everything that has happened. It's made this place more lucrative than it's ever been. It's made this place attractive. My reign has gone through the most crazy and turbulent time in WWE history. Accurate. Very accurate.
Yeah.
That says a lot. I will always take quality of this run over 14, 15, 16 times. Some truth to what he's saying there.
I'm with it.
But yeah, this also adds to some other things with WrestleMania. There is a lot of sentiment that you're not going to only see one big legendary name be on the card for WrestleMania. And this has kind of come together in the past couple of years. As we've seen some big names utilized to come back for WrestleMania. This is nothing crazy there, right?
Nope.
But what do you think of these rumors? According to Dave Meltzer, big old Papa Dave Meltzer, who's gotten some things right, gotten some things wrong. He says that WWE is looking to integrate Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and John Cena into WrestleMania, describing it as a well-guarded secret. Well, not if you know it, Dave. And that there isn't yet any creative locked in for Austin and Cena at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, a lot of people rush to the conclusion, or just the obvious thing, that if you have, The Rock and Roman trying to protect the Samoan dynasty and protect their match, they're going to have that tag team match, Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. Winner of that match get to determine the bloodline rules for the next night when Cody challenges Roman for the title, his rightful honor that he earned at Royal Rumble, Rock. So some people say that then there will be this kind of like outside influence that will come in and like back up Cody.
Right.
And I'm okay with that, but it borders on too much. It borders on too much. But what do you think?
I mean, we saw this past week where, who was it? It was Seth Rollins, and then Jey Uso came out to back Cody Rhodes. And then there was Solo Sikoa, of course, and Jimmy, but The Rock wasn't out there. And I feel like they're going to have somebody come out to combat The Rock the second night. I just feel like if they do have bloodline rules,
if that's the unpredictable part, if that's the cool surprise part,
yeah.
But there's no way to do this match with a lot of things not happening.
Yeah.
And there's been great matches with a lot of outside interference that Roman's had.
Yes.
But sometimes it just borders on too much. Just like, can you just give me one guy, winning the story? And I think if they can get it down to that and get you all the noise early on, but then it just settles in and it's just Cody versus Roman.
That would be
and they make it clear Cody's going to get him. Cody's going to get him. And I've heard some people say that Cody's kind of cooled off here in the past few weeks for WrestleMania. I don't get that impression. The crowds are still very, very hot from him. And I think the people still want to see him get it. They still want to see him finish the story. I do think he has to kind of reel that nail back in. He really has to finish the story thing, tie it back to his dad, all those emotional things. Sorry, as my lighting rig here is swinging the camera. But all those outside elements kind of hopping in here, people saying, I'm really excited for CM Punk returning tonight in his hometown. See what I'm telling you about? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
People want Punk in Chicago feels like a big deal.
Have you been to almost every CM Punk return? I mean, have you been? You've been to every one, right?
I think so. No, yeah. I was at Money in the Bank 2011.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I went to some of his really big Ring of Honor shows here too.
Yes.
And so he had a draw with Samoa Joe that went like an hour, and I lost my voice watching it. And that was one of the best matches I've ever seen. The match with him and Cena at Money in the Bank is one of the best matches in terms of just like a sheer reaction. If you've never seen that match and you just heard it was good, go watch it. It's like if you want a sense of why this building in Chicago is special and why the building feels so much louder than the building actually is. It feels really, really loud. And I keep saying this for people that have never been there. Like, why is it like people say Madison Square Garden, then they bring up Rosemont Allstate Arena? In terms of wrestlers, it's the sound of the building. The ceiling of the building is not metal. The entire ceiling of the building is wood, and it's very acoustically sound. If you're in the ring, I've talked to guys who are in the ring crew. If you're in the ring, I could go all the way up to the 200 section and yell down, and you could clearly hear me. That's 17,000 people.
Yeah.
Like if someone gets really, really quiet, you can legitimately not completely hear them, but hear them. And so that makes the sense of the sound very crisp, but also extremely loud. There's a lot of compression in the sound. And that makes it, the wrestlers love being able to hear the crowd as they perform. Yeah. It gives them the perfect temperament to work with, like a metronome. And so that element makes the room really special, and him coming out at it is special. I was at the United Center when he came back for AEW, and that was his return to wrestling.
Yeah.
That was huge. I was at Survivor Series. It was huge. I know people say Chicago gets too much wrestling. I don't think we get enough. I don't think we get enough. I know Cleveland's getting a SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
There we go.
Yeah.
But talking about all the WrestleMania news, I want to get to your comments here about the potential, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena, an Undertaker coming back in here. I have DoorDash at my door.
Ooh,
you guys can leave it right there, buddy. I'll be right out and get it. All right, cool. So look at that. I'm letting food potentially be stolen. I'm not running off camera.
Okay.
Chicken bacon cheese. I'm sticking with the crowd here. We got questions. Ryan Markham goes, any rumors of Braun Strowman returning at WrestleMania? There's a heavy rumor that he would show up right after WrestleMania. I think he'd be the perfect night after WrestleMania guy to reintroduce. Don't you?
Yeah. I would love to see Braun Strowman back in the mix. You know, he's a guy that's been missed lately, but we need a big guy. We need a big good guy back. Well, he can be a bad guy too, but we just need that big dominant guy back in the WWE right now.
The cruiserweights are cruising right now. I understand what you're saying. I want you to read this one here from Chuck Berry. It's not Chuck Berry.
He says, I can see Stone Cold Steve Austin being there. He did defeat The Rock in WrestleMania 15 in Philadelphia. I'm just saying I would love to see that. You know, I just watched WrestleMania 14 last night, and
Chicago won, right?
Yeah.
The 13 one's the Chicago one. 14,
I watched 14 in 14
Boston. Is when Austin wins the belt.
Won the belt, yeah, and it got me
in
hyped.
Boston, Massachusetts, right there.
Boston,
Boston, right there. What are you talking about? Stone Cold Steve Austin's gonna get in there, beat up that pretty boy Shawn Michaels.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for a Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know, come back, a surprise, and stun The Rock one more time, have him oversell it and do it in the best way possible. So excited for it.
All right, fire up your comments. Get here on screen. Want to hear from you guys here. Want to cover all the big news here. Let's get into this. But this one, a little bit of a negative story. We got people making the book rounds. Becky Lynch is making the rounds for her book and getting a lot of attention. She addressed the Vince McMahon scandal and allegations against him, which are still very, very serious. Her saying that she cannot reconcile with it, and basically was very negative to it, but understood like it's something. It's very much something hard to process. For her, and I think that's a fair human response. I know everyone judges the way people respond to that. So, Ronda Rousey is also putting out a book. She has something to say, but I want to read this Becky quote here before we get going. When she was talking to the Irish Independent promoting her book coming out, she said, I don't know that person, speaking of Vince. We didn't always see eye to eye, but especially in my last run with him there, when I told him I was pregnant, he was good to me. I would love my interactions with him, and that becomes very, very difficult because as a woman who has been so driven in changing the way that women are treated in wrestling and making sure it is a safe space. And so it's just, hey, it's very, very hard for me to process this, you know? But she said she thanks him for her dream, becoming a wrestler. Like this is still somebody, it's very conflicting for a lot of people, I think, who had, even if they had a conflicting relationship with Vince McMahon, he's still the Walt Disney of wrestling. He's still, I'll say this. This is the most controversial thing I'll say about Vince, and I don't mean this to alarm anyone. Yeah. It's easier to take Chris Benoit's name out of WWE history, or at least reduce it, and do it for the right reasons. I don't know how you do that with Vince McMahon.
Right.
You know, and we're just kind of in a wait and see how this goes situation. And I feel for everyone involved. I really do. I don't think having empathy is bad about this. And there's a lot of people that are affected by this, and people who are making these allegations who have to relive this trauma and go through it. People that have, allegedly, you have to say that reportedly. I have to emphasize that for legal reasons. Don't get mad at me, everybody.
Right.
So it's just a heavy situation. Now, Ronda Rousey, prominent figure in WWE, who's always been outspoken. She has a book coming out that she wrote with her sister, and she's been really firing off on WWE recently.
Yes.
Saying a whole lot of things, tweeting up things, but saying she's going to lay out a lot more in this book. What do you think about what she's been saying? Because hers are a little bit more like, I don't have to have a safer response to this like people that are still there.
Yeah, she's just letting it be known that she's pretty much never coming back to WWE, and she does not care about what she says or anything that they have to say about what she says. So I do think that she's trying to sell her book at the same time, but I think that she probably has some dirt. But who really knows what Ronda's seen and done? But she probably has got some stories. She did just say that she suffered a concussion from Stephanie McMahon slapping her at Elimination Chamber, which I found hilarious. But I mean, not hilarious.
It's not funny. She got a concussion.
Funny she got a concussion,
but it's just almost a non-wrestler, or a managerial character. That's wrestling. Get in there. It's not play. I heard that Stephanie slaps the crap out of people.
That's why I thought it was funny, because I've heard the same exact thing. Is that because Stephanie does not play around, and unfortunately, Ronda suffered a concussion from that. So it's not funny that she had that injury. But it's wild that this is all happening right now. And I don't know. I'm probably going to check out the book to see what she has to say.
Yeah, she had another interview here with Cage Side Seats, I believe. And she continued saying, I had a long sit down with Triple H, and I was like, I can't be associated with mediocrity. That's what they seem to be happy with at the time. I hope that is different now. I can't say that I've ever experienced it any other way. Her last few months in the company, she was in a tag team with Shayna, which seems comfortable and is something people wanted for a long time. She got to have a match with Shayna on the way out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did MMA rules. It was a fine match. Unfortunately, I don't think people are going to remember it as like a match of the year.
No.
But other people are going to say she's bitter and all these different things, and maybe the booking went south, but she had a rollout like nobody else. In WWE, in terms of like presenting a character, having her the first time you're ever in the ring, it's with The Rock and Triple H and Stephanie, right? When you bring her back, you have her come out at the end of the Royal Rumble, the first Women's Royal Rumble, and she's already set for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
She didn't even have to get in the ring.
Exactly.
You have the debut match at WrestleMania, which was a huge deal. I was there. She had the best match of the night. It was her debut, but then you see some limitations on what she can do in the ring, but it still looks real. She still looks like legitimate. No one's denying she's a badass. But in the book, Our Fight, which comes out April 4th, by the way, WrestleMania week, she kind of in the same Cage Line interview, she basically says she doesn't think that the women, even now, get the same type of effort behind them that other people do. So I think for her, it wasn't just like, for mediocrity was like how you're presenting women. I still think you need to present women even more. Oh, that's great. You've already gotten us to that level. Now we have to go even further. Main eventing WrestleMania isn't enough. Saying the first time women have an elimination chamber isn't enough. But she's kind of hitting that tone. And she says this is the one this is the quote I was looking for, and I found in my prep here.
There you go.
She says, the bloodline is able to plan things out a year ahead of time, and they won't even talk to me until I get to the arena about anything. I proved in my first match that if you give me time, the resources and preparation, I can put together an amazing match. And I feel like they're really doing that with Logan Paul and allowing him to rehearse and put these things together and have all these different resources, producers, to bring him to his highest potential. And it got to the point where the girls weren't going to get any of that. So harsh.
Ooh, harsh. Yeah, definitely.
And harsh statements. Other people are going to label better and all that stuff. You're going to have people that are going to do that. There was a lot of people that didn't like her because they felt like she just got things over their favorites and stuff like that. And I understand if you got your faves, and you're going to say that. But circumstances saying this, pretty wild there.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty wild to say the least. Getting back to your comments here, fire off. Get in here as we wrap up here. If you guys have any questions and different stuff like that, fire off. Let's get these out of here. I got to get ready for Raw. I got to get this.
You got some food waiting for you too, man. You need to get to that.
I have food downstairs.
That's right.
And there's a chance I may be on camera.
Woo! Tonight.
Possibility.
You gonna be holding the mic on camera? Or are you gonna be in the seats or? You should be on the mic. I'll just say that. I'm just saying, Kevin, you should be on the mic.
Brother, when I'm on the mic, I make the money. I make very small amounts of money, and potentially I will get drink tickets.
There you go. Right. Yes.
That's my money is drink tickets. I talk like a real comedian.
I know.
By the way, I have comedy shows in Philadelphia, WrestleMania week. I'll talk about this in a little bit. Benjamin here with a question here. What do you think of this one? What are the plans for Jade since she's on SmackDown? That's right. They made her official. She's on SmackDown. She's a SmackDown superstar. You put her on WrestleMania. What do you have her do? I think they get her on WrestleMania.
You know, there's a few different avenues they can go there. Bianca doesn't have a match yet, right? She's not there. I don't really know, but I'm glad that we're gonna see Jade Cargill out here on SmackDown. Finally, everybody's been asking. And she even responded saying, she will never wrestle again. And I don't know how exactly that it was a joke. It was a joke. No, I didn't buy it either. It was, it was just responding in a fun way. But
it's fickle fans on the internet.
Yep, exactly. But I'm just glad, to see that she is about to start making some moves in WWE. Because
Dirty Richard Slater, Dirty Dick Slater here.
Here we go.
Wrestling reference for those that get it. Fragile Phil needs to take Corey Graves' spot commentary. About 10, 13 years ago, CM Punk, when he had an injury in WWE, when he was on that first big run, was on commentary. He was just doing adding his analysis to things.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. He was actually really, really good at it. When he went into the pipe bomb stuff, he said I'm number one in the ring, and I'm on commentary. And I remember he added. I don't know if he's going to take Corey Graves' spot.
I don't know about
he would have to take Pat McAfee's spot. I don't think you're going to get a 3-man booth.
Right.
Too much personality there on Monday Night Raw. Here we go. Will Undertaker still have his undefeated record at WrestleMania? No, he doesn't have that anymore. He was defeated. He was
twice
defeated. Yes. It's possible DP cashes Money in the Bank at WrestleMania on 40 like Seth Rollins did. That's worth it. It's worth talking about. Damian Priest, one half of the men's tag team title champions, the WWE tag team champions, the undisputed tag team champions. They will defend their titles in a multi-man ladder match, which I am going to say WWE saying, hey, we do have tag teams. Remember they said they don't have enough tag teams? They are reminding you that, oh, wow, we have a bunch of tag teams here.
Yeah.
That match, a lot of people are telling me is going to be R-Truth's moment to shine here because he's been betrayed by the Bloodline and a comedic sideline thing. And they're a faction. You have a bunch of different guys. And this will be the Spot Fest match. DIY out of that match.
Yep.
Grayson Waller and Austin Theory surprisingly beating the Good Brothers, the veterans, to qualify for that match. And you're going to have, 6 teams? 5 or 6 teams? There's 12 men?
Yes. So the New Day's in it. But I believe that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory still have
to qualify. They have to. I'm looking at my notes right now. They would have to qualify. They have to beat Street Profits. I'm more leaning on the Street Profits there. And this is that time. I will say this: WWE giving you the weight to the TV matches.
Yeah. Yes,
where everybody on the card is trying to win their way into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Every match means something.
I
like it's simple. It's simple, So I think we're going to see some of that on Raw and SmackDown this week. And so very interesting here. Want to get to more of your comments here. Leonardo saying Cody Rhodes will lose again at WrestleMania. I've heard some people starting to say this.
Yeah, I've been hearing it a lot, actually. And I've been hearing people some of my friends who were Cody crybabies or whatever have been turning. They're now back with the Rock. They
Because The
said
Rock's
that,
just been so entertaining.
yeah, they were like, at first I wanted Cody to finish his story, but the kid in me is starting to root for the Rock again.
Doesn't Cody versus Rock feel bigger than Cody versus Roman right now?
It does right now, and like that's what I think most people are focused on. And I don't know.
We're supposed to have another match with Cody and we're supposed to have another match with Rock this year,
right? So this is the Rock's doing his thing. It's he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Derek LaFond, what's your thoughts now versus then for Logan Paul so far in WWE? Return on investment is amazing. He doesn't have to main event. He's main evented the side pay-per-views. He main evented the Saudi Arabia show. Yeah. But this is the guy who I love the quote from him recently. I'm done with boxing. I'm all in on WWE.
Yep.
And he's still a social media influencer. He still has the podcast. He still has the Prime stuff. That's a legitimate sponsorship, by the way. That isn't just like, oh, I'm in WWE here, I'll put Prime. No, that's like they bought that. And he's a great pro wrestler. Mm-hmm. For what he is. I don't think they put him in a situation where he can't do the things he wants to do. When they put him in the Elimination Chamber, where you have all of these different people, and they put him in the Royal Rumble, all of these different people, lots of moving parts. He's well produced. He has good agents. He's paired with the right talent. And when he has his minutes, you maximize your minutes. They tried when they started, they want to make him a babyface. Oh, the young kids love him. Let's bring him in as a babyface. But even those kids want to see him piss off older people. If you're 15 and you were 8 and you love Logan Paul and you watch his videos online, now you're 18 and you're going to start watching wrestling again. You still, this is a big thing that Gen Z has, you're younger than me. They love the idea of pissing off people older than them. Okay? They love it.
I don't know why, but they do.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. This Xennial millennial understands what that's like.
Yes.
Yep. So I get it. But no, he's amazing.
He's great.
And he's been there's stuff he did on the internet that I thought was despicable like 6 years ago. But he's evolved. He's a carny. He's a modern carny in the sense that he knows how to sell things and move things and and engage with people and talk a certain way, but he talks and acts. All those things line up with pro wrestling psychology. He looks like $1 million, talks like $1 million. I don't think he wrestles like $1 million, but you got to pay him because of all those other things and the things he brings to the table. But also, he cares. He doesn't get in there and try to embarrass somebody and say, I'm bigger than this. He's also not the main eventer in a lot of these shows since Saudi Arabia, right? So he understands I'm a featured attraction, but I'm not the main event, and he still hits his mark. That's all you want. The guy comes in, he respects the business and puts in work. Yes, is he making more money than other people? Sure. But a Ricochet is a bigger star because Ricochet worked with him. Maybe Ricochet's not as big as he was when he worked with Logan Paul, but it's a bigger deal. It's a way bigger deal. I
love it.
Will Roman finish his story at WrestleMania? No, a new story will begin for Roman, I think, at WrestleMania. That's what I think happens.
We'll see what happens.
What do you think of this one? Right. Riddle me this one.
It says, any thoughts of Matt and Jeff Hardy boys returning at WrestleMania 40? Ooh, I mean, that would be amazing.
Contractually, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it can it?
No, they're locked into AEW for quite some time.
Right.
Matt has been open about saying he's talking about a new deal. His deal obviously predates Jeff signing with AEW, but a lot has happened since then. There was other legal situations with Jeff since then. There were other injuries since then.
Yeah.
Jeff was injured again recently in the match with Sammy Guevara. He's not just going to be cleared to compete. He's north of 40. He has numerous injuries stacked up. Matt has them as well. I would like to see the Hardys do something with WWE before the end of their career. Yeah, I think a Hall of Fame run for them is appropriate, right? Mm-hmm. Seems about right. Maybe one big match. One big match, and you could do a send off there. People saying stuff happening. Yeah. Also, do you think we see some sort of surprise during the tag match at WrestleMania? Oh, because they did this they had like a ladder match before. And that's when they brought the Hardys back. I know a lot of people
were back.
I don't know if you have to repeat everything like that again.
I did see the Dudley Boys were rumored. Well,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, baby.
It's Philadelphia, and Devon, God bless him, had a really serious health issue.
Right.
They need to deal with and go surgery. Bully Ray still moves, man.
It was Bully.
He's on Busted Open talking. He put it out there.
Yeah.
They are doing something at the 2300 arena, the ECW arena. I know they have an event that they're putting on themselves, the Dudleys. And Busted Open is going to have a show on Saturday. They're going to have a show Saturday afternoon, and they're going to be broadcasting on Sirius XM. I listen, and I went to it. Twice now. Those have been fun. If you're looking for like a side thing to do, those are really, really fun. Who knows? I think it's just Bully, pushing the needle, but it'd be cool if they did it.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
I want to make sure I say this here. Any thoughts on the MJF stories that are going on? Yeah, we haven't talked about AEW at all for 36 minutes in the show. Have you seen the stuff where his profile was pulled from the roster and you get a 404 error response when you try to pull up his profile on the website?
I mean, I didn't personally go and test it out, but I've been seeing people say this. Yes. And I still think it's a work. I think that he's going to be back with AEW. I think that he's just, he's steering up the pot, doing what a good wrestler does. And but I think he'll be back. I also think that he's still mending some injuries. So,
of course, Tony Khan won't do anything. He says, interview going in ringside. He spoke with them. He responded to the contract status of MJF, which reportedly was up at the end of 2023. He's given the bidding war 2024, and he took the title off him right at the end of the year. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Tony Khan saying, I can't say MJF certainly has been, I can say MJF certainly has been a great part of AEW for the past 5 years. And through those 5 years, certainly he's been one of our great homegrown stars, and he's somebody we really value and have MJF in AEW. And I would love to have MJF in AEW in the future, should contractually situation be allowed. Certainly MJF, somebody we would love to have in AEW going forward, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Okay. So Tony's working the pot here too. Okay. So that's the impression I get. But nothing wrong with it.
Nothing.
Work me good, brother. Work me good.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Graham. Bongcruff. What dramatic level should I do in this read?
Oh, let's go full force.
Full force?
Full all the way.
I'm going to get into the character. I'm going to drop into the character. Okay. I'm going to drop. I believe this is someone who's from, I'm looking at this. Looks like they're from England of some kind. Am I correct? Is that Welsh?
I believe. Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Theater focus. I swear, if Roman Reigns does not lose the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship at the WrestleManias, I will personally stop watching WWE.
Oh, man.
And scene.
Bravo, brother.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you. And you're welcome.
Yes. I needed that today. I needed that.
But I will give you this, Graham. I can see some people feel the same way. I could really see some people feel that way, dude.
Yes. Yes.
Here we go. Josh Springer. Monday Raw on Judgment Day joins Dominic Mysterio. All these different things. JD McDonough fans. My name is Josh. Hey Josh, how you doing, buddy?
Up,
Thanks for watching the show. Thank you for watching, buddy. I appreciate your feeling. I have fans all over the world who watch. Who have there was somebody who watched. He's mentioned disabilities and different things like that. Nothing wrong with that. I love people who have found wrestling to be a resource for them to deal with different things. I've met many people that do that. So thank you, Matt. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman, he corrected me on that. I didn't say his name correctly.
Will
Will Goldust help Cody finish his story? I doubt it. Once again, AEW contract.
Yeah, no.
You hear about this? Dick Slater bring up this one. You hear about Jungle Jack Perry saying that he did not apologize in the way that people think he did for this whole CM Punk kerfuffle.
I love it. I don't know.
You love it? Do you just love it because it's just drama, or do you love it because it's
drama? I don't know. I still think that, I just love wrestlers sticking to their guns. And I don't, I know that this is a more serious situation, but at the same time, stick to the story. And he is. So.
All right. Well, Graham liked my theatrical interpretation of his comment, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate all that you guys are saying. CM Punk is going to be on Raw tonight. We want to know what you guys think he's going to do if you're just watching on demand. What do you think his WrestleMania role should be? We may find out really, really soon. You can find me on the Instagram at KevKellum6. That's KEVKELLAM6. I'm on the X. X going to give it to you. X going to give it to you. Still call it Twitter to you. All right. So I'm on that. We're very, very busy. We're on all the different platforms. Very busy on this Sportskeeda Wrestling channel. I know we've heard you cut some shorts recently. What shorts have you recorded recently?
Done some WrestleMania build-up shorts. I've done some other things around the video game, and got some stuff coming out about Braun Strowman, all that good stuff. So yeah. But you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Nick_Harksen. That is NICK_HARKSEN. That's where you find me.
Gotcha. I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be in Philadelphia as well on April 3rd, Wednesday, April 3rd. If you're heading out there first, I will be at the Punchline Comedy Club at 7:30 p.m. as part of their all-pro comedy showcase. And then on Thursday, you can catch me at the Nightcap Comedy Show, late night comedy show at the Helium Comedy Club on Thursday at 10 p.m. I will have the links and everything up on my Instagram, all that good stuff. Just give me a follow and you'll see them there. And also message me. If you guys listen to the show, you can message me. I respond to those different things. I'm not like a big hoity-toity, I don't respond. No, I love talking wrestling with people too, by the way. If you just want to message me about wrestling, I'm always down to chitter-chatter about that.
Yeah.
So we have a lot going on, a lot of content here for WrestleMania coming up. I will be there with Bill Apter, and we'll be covering a bunch of different things that week. So keep an eye out for that on all of our different socials, wherever you get your wrestling. Thank you for watching Sportskeeda. I know you guys have a lot of options. I really appreciate you spending the time with us. All right. It is not something I take for granted. But when you do watch the wrestling, don't get angry that your fantasy booking isn't on screen. They're just trying to put on a show. And just remember that you need to do this one little thing besides let your food get cold on the porch right now. What's that, young Nicholas of Sacramento, California?
Enjoy wrestling.